I've never been more attracted to 50 Cent.
One of the first things I wrote down.
I love this guy. I get why Chelsea Handler dated him.
That was my first indication that
he was cool as hell.
Pretty fucking awesome.
That he was cool as hell.
Welcome to Guys We...
Hello, citizens of planet Earth. Are you hydrated? You wearing your seatbelt? What are you doing? Spreadsheets? Welcome to another episode of Guys We...
It's the Anti-Slut-Shaming Podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
Welcome to the show. Please make sure you're following us on social media and subscribe to the YouTube. It's youtube.com/guyswe... without the and I'm at Philanthropy Gal on all social media.
I'm at Krystyna Hutch.
I'm at Eric Freddy.
And together we're at Guys We... without the on Instagram and, TikTok too.
Algorithm daddy be controlling our language, huh?
Fun TikTok.
If you want to send us an email, it's sorryboutlastnight@gmail.com. We've got a lot of good ones lately. This one I'm super excited to read in response to one of my calls to action of, women can be pieces of crap too. Give us examples. This subject line is, would my ex-girlfriend have murdered me if we stayed together?
Is this a man or woman writing?
It's a man.
Oh, okay.
I've been listening
then probably not.
I've been listening to GWF for the past decade and really appreciate the work you do and the wisdom and laughter you've brought into my life. You ladies keep me sane through some insane times. That's our pleasure, baby. I'm writing in response to your call for emails from male listeners about the worst a woman has ever hurt them. Some background. I grew up in a conservative Christian home with an abusive, narcissistic mother. I'm the oldest of 5, and none of us speak to her anymore because she's still so toxic. Honestly, she and Christina's mom would probably get along a little too well. Somebody take me up, steal my business idea. It's like a dating app, but for narcissistic parents to just hang out. Because then they could complain about us and they could get all their energy out with themselves. I married young with only 1 year left in my undergrad. After graduating, my now ex started talking a lot about how much she wanted to be a real family, in quotes, by which she meant having kids. I told her the term was hurtful because I considered her and our dog to be a real family, but that didn't change her behavior. More importantly, she didn't understand that while we were married young, I wanted to enjoy being young together before bringing kids into the whole thing. Plus, as the oldest of 5 in a high-conflict, abusive home environment, I wasn't even sure I wanted kids and was honestly burnt out on growing up as a caretaker, both to my siblings and to my parents, whose arguments I often mediated out of necessity to keep the peace. Oh, God. So exhausting. Ultimately, my ex decided we were having kids with or without my consent. She lied about her taking birth control and only admitted it in front of our therapist during her second pregnancy. I love my daughters deeply, and I wouldn't trade their existence for anything. But that betrayal was something I couldn't come back from, and I knew I had to leave. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. Most friends and family seemed indifferent and didn't think what she did was a big deal. That's fucked up. I actually know a couple guys that this has happened to. My mom, for example, made it all about herself. Quote, "I'm so sorry your dad divorced me and created the legacy that divorce is okay." I'm reading this as Nancy. Years later, I would learn that there's a term for what happened to me, reproductive coercion. Okay. It's much more commonly documented in cases where a male partner is the one using pregnancy to control or trap a woman. But there are plenty of other stories like mine. I started my 30s as a single dad with 50-50 custody, and I genuinely enjoyed being able to co-parent actively while also finally figuring out who I was outside the abusive religion and upbringing I'd walk away from after college. Honestly, it does seem, by the way, my brother and his baby mama have half custody of my nephew, and they get along great. And I'm like, damn, this kid... This is a way better situation than if they were to have stayed together. I feel like that's kind of the way to go. My divorce kicked off a chapter where I got to be a slut and make up for the dating lessons I missed in my 20s. I was also frequently a dumb bitch about the partners I chose. I was still in therapy, but picking unstable women who weren't doing any of the work, which brings me to the worst relationship of my adult life. After a breakup in 2019, I took time off dating, and then the world shut down. I didn't hate the forced solitude. Once I was vaccinated and ready to date again, I met a woman, let's call her Bella, on the apps. Men give the women way better fake names than the women give the men here. We bonded quickly over drinks at a barcade and spent hours talking before she invited me back to her place to hook up. We shared a ton of interests. She was 5 years older, very successful, and appreciated that I wasn't intimidated by that. I felt guilty about not being able to pay for half the trips she planned, but she reassured me she didn't care about the money. She just wanted my company. Things were great until the, quote, best self phase wore off. We had bonded over similarly abusive moms and eldest sibling trauma, but unlike me, Bella wasn't dealing with hers in therapy. She drank and smoked to keep it down, and I increasingly became the outlet for her rage. During our first fight, she made vague posts about me on social media. When I told her that hurt and I wanted our relationship to stay private, she said, quote, I won't be edited. She needs to be friends with Nancy. I recognized that I needed to get out.
So she's like a hack goth girl. Yeah. And I know I'm saying that while wearing like a full black skeleton sweater. Krystyna bought this for me.
I did, and it looks amazing on you, and you're not hack goth.
It's very comfy.
This girl doesn't have a coffin in her apartment, okay? I recognized that I needed to get out, but she didn't take that breakup well. She insisted we talk it out, and I foolishly agreed to give her closure. Sounds like an Eric situation. She sales pitched her way through all my reasons and promised to fix everything, even agreeing to start therapy. That's the thing, you know. A lot of couples are on the precipice of a breakup, and therapy is a big reason why. Like one or the other has to go to therapy, and a lot of motherfuckers be promising. What I say is just get yourself into therapy, whether you're in a couple or not, and it can't hurt. Can't hurt. It was a dumb bitch move to give her another chance, but then my sister moved out and broke our lease. I couldn't afford a 2-bedroom alone. I need a separate room for my kids. And in my city, even the Midwest cost of living is too high. When Bella invited me to move in, I accepted. So yes, a dumb bitch move, but also I didn't have many options. Money, man, keeps you dating pieces of shit. The next year, living together was hell. She demanded constant attention. I'd come home exhausted from working in the office while she worked remotely, and after an hour of quiet decompression, she'd hit me with passive-aggressive comments like, so we're not hanging out at all tonight? She should hang out with Nancy.
I'm impressed she gave you an hour of quiet decompression.
That is nice.
I don't know. That's would be my goal to get that.
Yeah. Her outbursts escalated. She'd get blackout drunk multiple times a week, and if I complained, she'd make comments about how she pays for everything, like she was holding it over my head despite previously not caring if I couldn't contribute much to a trip she wanted to take. I think she was just holding on to any means of control or power over me. You would be correct, sir. Her jealousy got violent, and I found lots of old pics on my camera roll while writing this letter that show the bleeding scraps on the side of my neck. I think he meant scrapes. I forgot I even had the pics, but I was documenting just in case. She accused me of flirting with any woman I interacted with.
God.
I stopped smiling or making eye contact with women in public because I didn't want to deal with the fallout. The noises everybody's making.
Why is that? Is that something that you've had to do, Eric?
No, that's not something I've had to do, but I've seen that before.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's like a hack thing. Like and it also just makes you look so insecure.
Yeah.
I realized I was in the same situation I'd heard countless women write to you about. Stuck with an abuser I couldn't afford to leave. I only got out when a sibling and their partner needed a place and we could pool our resources. I almost wrote you several times during that relationship for advice, but ultimately never did because I had introduced Bella to the podcast and didn't want to risk that she'd hear it. You know what? Maybe she needs to hear it. If you're listening, girl, and you know it's you, just get over your ego and fucking calm down and listen. Just listen. Just listen and ponder. I specifically remember sharing one episode where Krystyna shared some revelations about her own relationship with anger and jealousy.
Damn,
hell yeah.
That's a hilarious. I'm interested to see how she responded to that because
Bella responded positively.
Yeah.
I forget what I said. I don't even know what he's referring to or what I said, but I forget what I say on here. Bella responded positively when we listened together, though none of the behavior changed.
Well, but did she know that you were having her listen because that's how you felt about her? Or did she just think it was an interesting conversation? Because that's my point. It can be perceived as passive, and sometimes when you're angry, passive shit makes me pisses me off.
Yeah.
So if I was already angry and then someone had me passively listen to something, I would fly off the handle, and I don't even get mad that much.
The final blow up happened at the same barcade where we met. We were with a group of her friends, and she was hitting the booze hard and fast. She left to go to the bathroom, and I was filling up my water when I feel a push from behind. I turned and see it was her, and I faked a smile, but I could tell she was upset. Who is that girl you were talking to? Jesus Christ, she came up behind you and pushed you? Yeah, that's fucking wild. I looked around confused. I hadn't been talking to anyone, and one of her friends and I exchanged confused glances. He started to vouch for me, but she interrupted again. Okay, yeah, she's just in her own fucking world. She's got a lot of fucking trauma, and she's reacting to situations that aren't happening. That is a fucking unfortunate consequence of whatever the fuck she went through.
And also, she can heal on her own time. You don't need to deal with it.
Exactly.
I'm done helping people heal. I mean,
gotta
you
heal by
guys,
herself.
sure, but like anyone else, no.
Yeah.
No, you could do it on your own time.
You really can. Quote, I know you're flirting behind my back. She got loud and aggressive, and one of the bartenders, who also happened to be a friend of hers, tried to get her to calm down. Yeah, I gotta say, dude, even though it felt personal at the time, this is so not personal. This has everything to do with her deep ass wounds. I went outside to cool off, and she followed me out there to continue the argument. A woman at a nearby table with a group of gals yelled at Bella to shut up. Well, I bet that went well. Which just got her to turn her wrath on the table of ladies.
Oh my God.
I thought fists were about to fly when Bella started sobbing uncontrollably. Yeah, see, it's the trauma. I see it. Confusing the girls who had been angry with her. Bella went inside, and the ladies turned to me. Quote, you need to take her home. She's ruining everyone's time. That girl's right.
She definitely, like, alcohol is the worst thing for a person like this.
When you're insecure and you go off the rails like that,
if you're screaming then crying, alcohol's not for you.
You just, why? Why? Don't put yourself through that and everybody in your life through that. To which I responded, what about the interaction you just saw between us makes you think I have any control over her? I told her I would drive her home before we got out here, but she's refusing. I kept my distance and hung out with one of my friends who had shown up at this point, but it was maybe 15 minutes later before she was getting kicked out, and her bartender friend convinced her to let me drive her home. She yelled and screamed in my face halfway home. She grabbed at the steering wheel as I pulled over to get me to keep driving. But I told her I'd drive us home when she stopped yelling, and that touching the steering wheel was a danger to us both. She took this as an opportunity to punch me on the side of the head. Oof, damn. Yeah, she needs fucking help and to fucking get a hold of herself. Much of the blow was absorbed by my glasses, which flew off my face. At this point, I called the cops. Good. But I had to exit the car. Don't worry, I grabbed my keys. To hear the operator over all Bella's blackout drunk shit talk. The cops did nothing. Ah, man, they don't do anything for men either. I at least thought they'd help men. Literally told me, quote, I don't see a bruise, when I explained that she had gotten violent with me and had been endangering us both with her actions.
I mean, I'm probably like never to take the side of the cops, but I'm guessing like they get a ton of calls like this. And at a certain point, they're just like, I don't want to deal with like relationship drama. Even though sometimes it's like serious abuse. I'm sure a lot of times it's also just like people pitting each other against each other, like by using the cops.
Maybe, yeah. If you're a cop and you're listening, do you get a lot of those calls? I'd be curious. I will say the bar across the street from my apartment closed after a crazy blowout fight at 3 a.m, which I watched the whole thing because I heard it, where this chick was beating the shit out of this guy. And I was like, I have to go down there. Like, that's fucked up. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And finally another neighbor was like, don't fucking hit him, you fucking asshole. And he came out and the cops came. And they didn't, I gotta say, I saw the fight and I was about to go down and be like, I witnessed it. She punched the shit out of him and should be in cuffs. Cause at first I could tell the cops didn't believe him.
Well, what did he do though?
That is what I asked myself.
I mean,
I don't know.
Probably not that it's ever okay, but I'm guessing like he cheated on her or something.
That's what Colin and I thought. But
women
we
don't really just start punching out of nowhere. I mean, there's some types, but I mean,
yeah.
It's not. That's also not okay. You can't get like you can cheat on someone and not get hit, and you're not supposed to get hit.
Correct. Nothing really warrants getting punched in the fucking face.
Unless it's like self-defense. Yeah.
Sure. They got her to agree to ride home in the back seat, but she called a friend and started shit talking me from the back seat. Of course she did.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's a funny move.
I'd record it, like not on video, but just audio, and then send it to her the next day and be like, this is the fucking person you are when you drink. Stop it. She got herself worked up to the point of screaming at me again. I pulled over once more and timed this time on the exit ramp leading to her place. She couldn't be reasoned with, and her friend said she was on her way to help me get her home. Nice. When we got home, she calmed down and was in the sad drunk phase. Yeah. I'm so sorry. She entered the master bedroom and proceeded to wipe out on a puppy pad, getting herself covered in piss from a puppy she had recently adopted at that time.
Of course she did.
Oh, Jesus. She adopted a fucking puppy.
Good job.
Oh, God.
Good idea.
That's the worst. I helped her up and she apologized profusely, but I had to remind her of all this the next morning. Once I moved out, my friends and family were relieved. The youngest sibling who had dog sat for us later told me they'd seen Bella's gun, on the side of her bed, on her side of the bed, and were terrified she might use it on me while blackout drunk. Your youngest sibling should have told you that like the second they found that, by the way, because like this, I would never.
Why is a gun just out? Also,
yeah, that's insane. That's fucking insane. I 100% believe that this woman is capable of shooting somebody in a drunken blackout.
Yeah, so yeah, she might have acted accidentally. Like I don't think she would have planned your murder. She doesn't really seem to have her shit together.
No, she doesn't.
Make a plan like that.
No, she doesn't take notes or anything. The good news is I've been in a healthy, loving relationship for almost 3 years now with a woman who actively does the work on her trauma. We communicate with love and patience. We bought a house together this year. It's incredibly healing to have a stable relationship after so much chaos, especially given how unstable life in America feels right now. Thanks for all you do, a loyal fucker. And then he attached photos, but it's of his current partner. It was cute. You guys are cute together. I wanted to see the other partner.
Yeah, we want to see the bad one.
Yeah. Come on, man. Thank you for writing us. And if you're a man listening to this who dates women and you have an experience of a woman being awful, please help even the scales in my head. Okay.
Yes. Sorry about last night's show at gmail.com. And then some quick promo. So New Year's Eve, I'm doing my yearly show at New York Comedy Club, East Village. It'll be at 6 p.m. I did lock that in finally. I didn't really know what time I was at 6 p.m. at New York Comedy Club, East Village on December 31st. Don't know the lineup yet, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. You're going to have a great time.
I'm around.
Okay, Krystyna will be on it. Just booked right now.
I'm around.
Shut up, Eric.
Eric, honestly, I was thinking of doing an all women thing, but I'll see if you can do it. I think Chloe's doing it too. Eric, maybe. No, but seriously, I'm not even just saying that. Like, I really was thinking. Like, I usually do have guys on it, but I was kind of like not in the mood this year.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think I want it to be crowd work heavy though. So you might have to do crowd work.
That's fun. I like crowd work.
Eric, you can keep complimenting the show. That's not going to help your case.
So that's fine. I didn't say fun.
Well, what an interesting idea.
Very neutral.
Okay. So that will be happening. I think the ticket will be live this week. Even though the poster's not me, but whatever. It just New Year's Eve comes too fast. Really, it's just a week after Christmas. And I go, oh my God, I can't.
That week is such a time warp.
Yeah, I feel like you're not really thinking about New Year's until after Christmas. But that's what you're, doing if you're in the city or anything. Like, it is a perfect pregame show. It's so fun. So gets you out of the house. Otherwise, you're like gonna get out right before the ball drops, and then after the ball drops, everyone's too drunk and you got to go home. So I think it sets the pace nicely. Sun goes down, you're immediately doing something good. That, and then of course, listen to Without a Country Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on. Watch it on YouTube, listen to it wherever it comes out immediately after we do the live stream. And it's super fun. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about this week. We'll be talking about the Bondi beach attack. We'll be talking about Brown University shooting. We'll be talking about the murder of Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner. I mean, just so much things to talk about.
The news gets such a hard on to tell you that someone died. 15 people dead. Well, it's 6, and now it's 17 people dead.
Well, that's like the Buckwheat is dead, the famous SNL sketch where they just keep interrupting to say Buckwheat is dead from the Little Rascals. For those of you who have no idea what Buckwheat is, for those of you who are too, do you know what the Little Rascals is, Eric?
Ties.
Okay, that's
good.
good.
Times I made it. If talking to a group of strangers, and including myself, from the comfort of your home on a computer via Zoom, sounds enticing, and you have $5 a month, sign up to patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson, where 3 to 4 times a week we'll hop, or 3 to 4 times a month, Jesus Christ, we hop on a Zoom and talk about all the shit that's happening in our lives. And it's I gotta say, I don't know how to make it not sound corny because the vibe of the actual group share pays that we do it's just really great. You feel very human. I feel so much better about the world afterwards. And so I invite you to sign up, become a Patreon. Patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson for as little as $5 a month. What the fuck? That's nothing. That's less than a cup of coffee if you live in New York.
Oh, and then also I forgot to say we have Without a Country merch. I think I mentioned that last week, but it's officially on sale. It's only a 2-week pre-order too, so you have until December 24th to place your orders. The merch, I worked on it with the guy who does a lot of my posters, Joe Frontel. I gotta be honest, I put a lot of work into this, and it took a little longer than I wanted it to, but the merch is sick. Like, even if you don't listen to the show, we did this tote bag that says, like the little brown bag, like the Bloomingdale's. Yeah. We did a take on that, and it says classic liberal tote bag, because I do have a theory that only liberals use tote bags. But it looks so fucking good. We have a Where is Shelly Miscavige hat. We have a Not Immune from Joining a Cult hat. Like, it's good stuff. So that's in the tree link in my bio.
Good Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Diddy doc.
Oh yeah, I finally finished the Diddy doc. Krystyna had finished it last week, but I had to catch up because those are 4 juicy, jam-packed episodes.
Well told.
First of all,
a lot of 50 Cent's getting a lot of shit from certain people online that I'm seeing. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Why? I've never been more attracted to 50 Cent.
One of the first things I wrote down.
This guy.
One of the first things I wrote down. I get why Adrienne Ipalucci wants to fuck 50 Cent.
I get why Chelsea Handler dated him.
That was my first indication that
he was cool as hell.
Pretty fucking awesome.
He was cool as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so petty. Apparently, I read this other thing that there was a rapper who I wasn't familiar with, a female rapper, and she apparently owed him $30K, and so
50?
And so she dropped a diss track about how she didn't have the money to pay him, and then of course he got so mad, and then he trademarked whatever the line she said in the diss track
and then sued her,
and so she couldn't make any money off of it, and then he made all the money off of it. It was something very strategic.
He's
very
a comedian,
smart and petty as hell. He's petty in the way that Cardi B is petty, which is so amazing. I love it. New York petty so much. It's my favorite thing to watch.
Yeah, New York City petty is different, and it's fun and it's funny.
Oh my god! I mean, I was on the way to an event yesterday night, and my cab driver was following this car in front of him too closely, and then apparently the guy in front of him just wanted to park, and he was in a sports car, and then he wouldn't move, and then they're just honking at each other, and then the guy in the sports car gets out of the car, and he's yelling at the window, and then my cab driver takes his window down, they're yelling at each other, and then finally he lets him park, because I'm like, someone's gonna get hit or shot at this point. And we've had enough shootings this weekend.
We have.
And then he finally lets him park, and he rolls down the window, and I'm
Is it 50 Cent?
No, I've lived here for 22 years. I'm so dumb. I thought my cab driver was going to be sorry. No, he pulled it down to say something racist to the guy.
Oh,
and I was just
cool.
And they're both I love when someone who is also not from here tells someone to go home. That's my
That's
favorite.
Such a New York City
so
experience.
New York.
It's the best though.
But
it is
also,
the best.
He told him to go back to New Jersey, and I was
How do you know?
Well, it didn't even make any sense.
Maybe his license plate.
It just didn't even make any sense.
That's
I was
great.
go. It was go home, and then I was what? And then
where?
And he was to New Jersey, and I was there was nothing about this guy that said New Jersey. I mean, it's just hilarious to say not it's more likely that guy was a native New Yorker.
Yeah, right.
My guy was definitely not a native New Yorker.
Yeah.
It was just, I was just oh my God.
One of their parents, that guy, I gotta say, ever since when a parent dies, you kind of just, I don't know, I chill out. I chilled out over that shit. I haven't experienced road rage since I found out my dad was sick.
Yeah, no,
not even a little bit of anger. I'm oh wow.
Nothing else matters, and it feels nice, but don't worry, it'll go away.
Oh. Damn it.
It lasts for maybe a year though.
That's pretty good. I'll enjoy that year.
Yeah.
Anyway, Diddy. Terrible rapper. Terrible person. Never thought he was a good rapper. I remember when I was a kid, I loved Biggie. I loved Biggie. And I was why is this fucking guy in his videos? Get out. You're annoying. And I was like a fucking 8-year-old thinking that.
Puff Daddy is one of the worst people.
Terrible human being.
I've never watched a documentary where there was like actually no redeeming qualities.
Zero. I mean, he's terrible to every person in every way. He's terrible to artists.
He's terrible to his own. Once he's slapped his mother and called her a bitch, I was like, and then she was still riding for him. And I was like, well, no wonder. Like
he in his mind he can get away with everything, I guess.
Well, and
his
also
ego is very dangerous.
Yeah, like kind of like setting the precedent for why he treats women the way he does. Not that it's at all her fault, but it's certainly like if you allow your son to treat you like that, then it kind of just like sets the groundwork for Cassie, for Kim Porter.
She beat the shit out of him though. So he got the shit beat out of her. And I wonder if, some kids, I have a friend who was a Montessori school teacher.
Yeah.
And she's been teaching kids from ages like 4 to 8 for like a decade. And she goes, oh no, some kids are genuine psychopaths. She's like, I've met 4. These are the traits. And I go, and their parents were lovely. Really, truly, when I say lovely, Tina, lovely. And I'm like, okay. So you can be just kind of born fucked up. So maybe.
Well, and also like Diddy got hit, but like other than that, it actually didn't seem like his childhood was that bad.
No.
And like
I got the shit beat out of me and I'm not a fucking
I was going to
beater.
say, not to excuse it, but it was a much different time when he was a child. So getting hit wasn't crazy the way it is today. Yeah. Like I wasn't really hit as a kid, but there was definitely a couple times I was hit, and definitely like my parents like would pull my hair when I was, which I fucking hated. I'd rather be hit. But like, this like, I think there's probably like, I'm like pretty anti-violence in general. So I don't think like hitting your kids is ever a great idea. You can totally understand like how a parent one time can be like, just like shut the fuck up and slap you, and like, I don't think getting hit a couple times like causes lifelong trauma. I gotta be honest.
No.
As someone who's experienced it.
Well, the one kid that grew up with him was like the beatings he got from his mom were otherworldly. Right. And I was like, oh, damn.
Right.
Okay.
And that's a thing.
So maybe
but that's like not. That is not an isolated incident. I have heard many people, especially of Diddy's age, because he's, a good amount older than us, who that was not crazy. Again, not okay.
Right.
And I don't think that alone is even close to enough like reason for what the documentary shows.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you see something and you're like, okay, this person was physically abused, mentally abused, sexually abused for you, and it kind of like makes sense. It's just like,
sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Sometimes you can't find the roots of these things.
Yeah.
Also too, like the fame, that the type of personality he was born as, I imagine, is the one that's going to be fucking lethal with an iota of fame.
Yeah.
So the basketball game when all those people died and he got away with it, and that made him famous. Wasn't as familiar with that.
I wasn't either. That was to me one of the most troublesome parts of the documentary.
Also didn't realize it sounds like he killed Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah, for sure.
I knew that the Tupac
allegedly
was probably him. Allegedly, Chad, sorry. But I didn't know the Biggie was also probably. I mean, it's obviously this is a documentary that's looking at one side of it, but
and Kid Cudi's lucky to be alive, honestly, because he was going to be the third, but then that would have been kind of funny because it's like Tupac, Biggie, Kid Cudi. Yeah. So
two
maybe
monumental rappers and Kid Cudi.
Like obviously,
who's not a bad rapper. I have seen him live.
He's not. He's just like not a legend.
Yeah.
So it would be just like been kind of messed up.
He raped Aubrey O'Day. He drugged her and raped her.
Yeah, P. Diddy, not Kid Cudi.
No.
Kid Cudi was fucking Cassie on the side.
He raped a lot of people.
Yeah.
P. Diddy. He drugged and raped a lot of men and women.
And also like that's like a testament for how gorgeous Cassie was, that you're gonna risk your life to fuck Cassie because Diddy's gonna try and kill you because this guy is unhinged. Imagine having pussy so good that someone will risk their life.
Since I don't know how old I was when that video, that me and you now, I've been waiting, think I'm gonna make it. That song, I remember that music video. I watched that music video over and over and over again. That I thought she was the prettiest person that has ever graced the earth. She's so gorgeous. Yeah. I didn't realize when she met Diddy, He was, I think, in his 40s, early 40s. She was 19 years old.
Classic love story.
So of course, she's going to go, oh, he wants to, the head of the label that makes everybody famous wants to date me? Like, yeah.
He's going to make my dreams come true.
Of course. And 19? Are you kidding me? You were 6 years away from your brain being fully formed.
Well, and in fact, what happened in that
the power
scenario
dynamics
is not only were her dreams not fully realized, I think that had she basically worked with any other producer in town, she would have been huge.
Yeah.
And so it was detrimental to both her mental health, like,
and
her life and her career.
And her career.
Yeah,
and I feel like
sure.
he got off on keeping this like really young, beautiful woman in a cage. I remember, I won't say who it is, but if you look in the archives, I guess you could look it up. We interviewed a DJ at SiriusXM maybe 8 years ago. I remember we showed up with our gear and interviewed him. And he said, there's so much I know about hip hop that the world doesn't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know what rappers are gay. I know what rappers are doing illegal, fucked up shit. And we're like, okay, tell us. And he goes, I'll tell you when we stop recording. We're like, okay. I pressed stop on the Zoom H6. And one of the things he told us was that P. Diddy is holding Cassie hostage and has been for the last 5 years, and she can't escape. This was maybe 8 years ago.
I don't remember him saying. I remember him saying that
because I was so obsessed with Cassie.
Yeah,
and I've always been obsessed.
I think it wasn't as meaningful to me because I was like, you're very much in this world. I'm like in Spice Girls world.
Yeah. I fucking loved hip hop.
Yeah.
And so I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, what are Corinne and I going to do about that? I don't know. What do you do?
I know there's some things
a lot
in
of people who knew that could have done something though.
No, I know in retrospect, I'm like some things like even with like Louis and stuff, I'm like, you know what? Could we have done more? I don't fucking know sometimes because it's like, it is these open secrets. But when like people so much more famous and powerful than you know, you're like, what am I? It's because it's not like I'm afraid of these people. It's just
you know what really would have helped if we had access to them. I mean, it'd be more likely that we had access to Louis and Diddy.
I don't know Louis.
We go, hey Louis, just so you know, I know.
I didn't know him. I was like, the only time I met him was actually like after all the shit went down a couple years ago. He was at the same party that I was at, but I didn't even talk to him at the party.
Yeah. I mean, also, I think gray areas they exist and they're important to talk about. Louis and Diddy, two completely different, not on the same spectrum in any. They're on but like they are so separate from each other in terms of where they're not close on the spectrum of piece of shit guy.
I think Diddy's the worst out of anyone, worse than Weinstein. I think he's worse than R. Kelly. I mean, because he also murdered people.
Yeah, he murdered a lot of people and raped a lot of people, and he's the
sexually
worst.
Abusing men and women.
I don't think he's ever
equal opportunity.
I don't know that he's ever done a positive thing in his life.
I don't think so either.
All the artists that worked for him didn't get fucking paid.
Yeah.
It's insane. You fucking piece of shit. Like, he is so unholy. P. Diddy.
And that's the worst part of it. You know, I'm not even a big God person, but he kept mentioning God and saying like, you know, God had him on this path, but then he would also had this God complex himself, and it was really crazy. And I'm just like, you know, if God exists, I hope he really gives you a piece of his mind when you get up to those pearly gates. But I mean, before he pushes you back down to hell.
Yeah.
Again, I don't even believe in hell.
Apparently it doesn't exist, but I would like to think it does for him.
It's crazy.
I think his hell, based off everything I've taken in, is his life review. He will get to feel how everybody he was abused by him.
Will he even care?
I think so.
He doesn't seem to care how anyone feels.
Right, as a person, he doesn't. But I think when you die, I think I think there is, I don't know, this is what I just tell myself, so I feel better about certain people dying. And
then you think about it and you're like, this is literally one of the worst people that I've ever seen, you know, in documentary form. Yet he has enjoyed decades and decades of fame, success,
riches,
financial security, has sex with some of the most beautiful women in the world. Like fans are coming into him up on the street asking for selfies. You're like, I mean, obviously he's not happy inside, but you know, sometimes people aren't, you know, happy and then they're also poor. So this feels better than that.
Really sucks.
I just spend a lot of time thinking, especially being in this business, about how many like genuinely bad people I know who are just really get to experience some of life's most, you know, decadent luxuries.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I think what happens is I saw a clip of of Kim Congdon. This is an old clip, but it just showed up on my feed. All this old shit is showing up on my feed lately. On Sirius XM, talking to Big J Okerson about a comic who didn't pay her $10,000.
Oh yeah, that was the talk of the internet for one whole week.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's a girl. She's very famous, has no jokes. And I was like, oh. And then I looked at the comments. I was like, oh, that's who it is.
Oh yeah.
But I think like, I don't know how you can be proud of yourself when you do shit like that. Like, and that is not, that's,
I heard the flip side of that though. Comic. So I'm like, I'm not sure.
Okay. So that's the only side I heard. So if that is the case and there's nothing else to it, I have no fucking idea. But like not paying an artist that works for you, that is not to mention rape and murder. I mean, those two things I couldn't understand if I tried. I couldn't understand those things, but like, because I would more likely not pay somebody than rape or murder somebody.
I understand why they happen. I'm just not going to do them, but I understand.
I don't know, man. How do you fucking live with yourself? How does Diddy live with himself? It's because he lies to himself. Like OJ convinced himself he didn't kill Nicole. I think Diddy convinced himself that he's a good person and he's righteous and he's it has to, because that's the only way you could carry on.
Yeah.
But 50 Cent posted a picture of Lil Rod, was one of the rappers producers who worked with Diddy on an album and was never paid for it, was making such low amount of money a year. I think he had a child and a girlfriend or a wife at the time. And like, he couldn't afford to like keep working with Diddy because Diddy wasn't paying him.
Yeah.
But 50 Cent posted a photo, like a avatar of Lil Rod's album. And the caption he said this is 50 Cent's caption. "This is fire. Lil Rod is talented. Diddy still ain't pay him for the Love album." Confused emoji. And he touched his butt.
Yeah. It was crazy, the trauma of and you could see how.
Oh yeah. I'm like, hope Lil Rod's okay with that. He sexually assaulted him.
Well, yeah, and it was interesting to watch the documentary because unfortunately, like you know, you could see how. How much, I don't want to say much more difficult it was for the men to talk about being sexually assaulted, but like it's almost like we live in a society where it's almost like so normal to hear a story about a woman being sexually assaulted.
Sure.
And you felt that in the documentary.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is a whole fucking mess.
Yeah.
But then there were so many people, you know, outside of the assaults who worked with Diddy for so long. And I understand Diddy's more powerful than you, but I'm like, he's not working alone. And some people were trying to like talk themselves out of like being his assistant for years, like people who were not experiencing like his sexual assault or manipulation in the same way. And I'm just like, yeah, like you were a victim too, but like you also helped him.
How'd you not
prey on people for, you know, years?
Long time.
It was that documentary. I mean, must watch.
And then people are saying that I don't know if 50's going to go after him next, but Jay-Z has a bunch of skeletons in his closet. And you know
I'm
what?
not surprised.
You know what?
Unfortunately.
Some people were DMing me like, what do you think about Jay-Z? I'm like, look, just because I love Beyonce doesn't mean her husband is perfect. That's
I
what
also
say about
just
that.
think, I mean, I have, you know, I've talked about this for years, but like, I just think it is so difficult, I think, to get to a high level of entertainment
And
or
not
politics
do some
and
fucked
not
up
have
shit.
some really nasty secrets about you. Like, I don't, Adam Sandler might be the only one who doesn't have one.
Yeah, that's true. We know people that know
Honestly,
him very
he's like
well.
the only guy.
He might be the only guy.
I've never heard anything bad of, and in fact is always at the top of like,
Yeah, you're right.
best behaved celebrity,
Yeah.
genuinely seems kind, loves his wife and daughters.
Really does.
Which is
Genuinely.
is sad that I have to like point that out as like, look at this guy loving his wife and daughters.
He's a person. He does the
Look
bare
at
minimum.
him.
He got married and he loves her.
Like I even watched his My Next Guest with David Letterman interview recently, and he, you know, when he's on tour, he makes some jokes about his wife Jackie that he has cleared by her, but just so that everyone in his audience, all the dum-dums are clear on it, he sings like a genuine song about how much he loves her at the end, which would be corny if anyone but Adam Sandler did it.
Yeah. He has a way about him.
He really does.
That's really lovely.
He really does.
It is lovely.
So, you know, I don't know.
But Diddy is not.
But yeah, but check out that documentary. But, you know, you're going to have to watch it in pieces, I think. Krystyna took it all in one sitting.
Because the hip hop, I've been into hip hop since I was a kid, and I remember like looking up the lyrics to like Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony, and then researching what the lyrics were about, like who the people that died, how did they die, what did the stories mean to the rapper, like. And I always remember like loving Biggie so much, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy that's so annoying on his albums?
Yeah, unfortunately, in true Corinne fashion, I was out of hip hop by like 9 because I was like, I can't listen to the way they talk about women. It was crazy.
And I was like rolling up in school, tell your bitch to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should definitely watch it. It's very interesting. And then everybody's on the internet. It's like, well, 50 has skeletons in his closet too. Cool. Let's just all get our skeletons out. No one's perfect.
Well, yeah, you don't get shot numerous times because you were just walking around being a good guy.
You're a little angel giving food to the poor, giving a homeless veteran cash. All right. But you know who is an angel?
Today's guest.
Goddamn right. Let's get into it. She wears many hats. She has been on the runway. She has been in politics. We have been in Key West together. So excited to talk to her. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Bridget Malcolm.